Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Something to Bark About. I'm back trying it again, seeing if my new tricks really work this morning or if I still had more to learn. I know Ninja Puppy was in there with me this morning when I tried this. Are you here again, Ninja? We'll give it a few minutes for people to click on. I know Squid was going on her show. Hey, there you are. Did you get a notification again? Well, welcome back. Thank you for joining me. Leave the puppy's ears alone, Bandy. They all want to clean her ears. She got the cleanest ears in Arkansas. Hey, Simba, welcome. How are you doing? Glad to see y'all. Oh, there's Happy. Hey, Happy, appreciate you coming in. Can y'all hear me and everything look okay? I'm doing this new thing with Restream, and I was struggling Monday figuring it out, but Ninja told me this morning when I did a test run that it said it was good. So appreciate that, Ninja. Awesome. Well, guys, it's halfway the week over, and I hear the daycare dogs getting after it. They chase each other. They sound like they're killing each other, but it's all safe play, I guarantee you. I have a camera set up on them, so I know if anything's an issue. Thank you, Ninja. Appreciate that. You asked me, I don't know if you asked me this just a minute ago or if it's from the earlier view about what I feed and what treats, what snacks. Is Kelsey gonna do it? Are you changing your mind? Kelsey comes once up here, but when I reach for her, she likes to play a game or run away. Let's see what's back up here. It's my old girl. Oops. Yeah. And Kelsey, when you decide to quit playing, y'all don't be fussing. It's just the baby. She's sleepy. She's been running and ripping, and she's tired. Quit chewing, Bandy. Um, but I had my dogs are on Purina One Pro Plan. Kelsey, oh, I hate when she does that. Um, they make toy breed formula, and it's fairly small. It's a chicken and rice. Um, and if some dogs have an issue with chicken, they have the lamb and rice. But I have had no issues with my chihuahuas. Uh, of course, keeping chihuahuas in their weight range, which is supposed to be 5 pounds or 6 pounds and under for show dogs. And so you have to really count their, you can tell my retired girls versus my show prospects. Oops is probably pushing easy 7.5 pounds. And when she was a grand champion, she was, when I got her grand championship, she was less than uh, 6 pounds. So she was eligible. And my treats, I just give them whatever, uh, excuse me. I got to learn the mute button. Get a little dew. I got choked. But you really have to check the calories and the size of your dog because, anything extra counts up. Let's see what Simba asked. Do the pups need to be young to tape their ears? Yes. Looking at your profile picture, how old is your dog? Uh, but that answers what I had people seeing my puppy's ears taped the other day and they didn't know what was going on. And when we took the tape off yesterday, we were like, wake you up. I'm sorry. She's tired. But when we took the tape off, it's like Texas ears or something. It made her look really different. Okay, I'll let you get back up and go sleep. That's what her wants. But that's what taping and this ear here, they got cartilage right in there. And so when they're teething, they'll flop their ears and not hold them up good. Quit cleaning her ears. Um, but you really can't do it again. Um, I mean, you can always try it. Don't hurt them, except that pulling the tape off. They don't care for that. She thought I was killing her trying to get the tape off. Hey, Janice. Well, we sure hope there's a good outcome at the doctor. That's no fun having to be at the doctor's. Tell you what, I've learned uh, getting in my 60s. I'll be 63 in June. And, health means a whole nother thing when you pass that 60 uh, age. It just, things hurt that they used to didn't hurt. And that's like me giving up my grooming after 40 years. I can't wrestle them anymore. I've got actually 4 dogs left that I'll do, but uh, 3 of them are small and they cooperate and they're old. I've done them since they were babies, so I didn't feel like that was fair to say, well, I'm done. I'm not grooming anymore. So I've continued those 4, and I got a golden doodle. It's pushing 85 pounds. She's a big girl, but she is so smart and so sweet. I have a hydraulic grooming table, and I lower it and just point, and she runs and jumps on it. And then for my 25th anniversary of Wagon Tails, I bought a hydraulic tub. And if I would have got that years earlier, my back probably wouldn't be the same. But anyway, uh, it just, I can do daycare and boarding and that kind of stuff, um, and not be so wore out. But Bella, the big doodle I'm talking about, I just point to my grooming table and she jumps up there, and anything I tell her to do, to stand up or turn around, I'm not having to lug up on her and stuff. And when I point to my tub, she goes and jumps in. And so I've continued to groom her just because she's so sweet and comes to daycare, and it's hard to tell them no. Okay, I get to talking and I may miss something. I just learned how to get these up on the screen. Happy you'll be 61 in a week. Well, maybe within a week I can figure out how to add a birthday song. I did find something on Restream that was AI, and I put in Chihuahuas, and it was pretty cute, but I ain't figured out how to, move all that stuff. And I'm just tickled to be able to do this. What's Janice got to say? Sleep doctor. I have a sleep apnea, so I need to get checked regularly. I have very dear friends that have sleep apnea and sleep with machines. And I lost my dad. He's been gone about 10 years now, or 12, but he had to be on a machine. So, but help us remember, Happy, that it's your birthday, and we'll make sure I might can get the harmonica out and get these girls to sing happy birthday to you. I know if I get my old girl Promise, she'd definitely do it. Simba, you'll be 60 in May. Is May Gemini's, or is it get to June to be a Gemini? I have no clue. I don't keep up with that. But I've always been told I was a Gemini because my birthday's June 6th. Let's see. Simba, I miss being a boomer. I'm just an old Gen X. what is considered, like, I've never even kept up with that. Actually, it was Megan that said something on her show one night about boomers, and I was like, well, I guess I am a boomer. I'm gonna be 63, so uh, I have no idea about the other Gen X and things they talk about. I know some of it when it's kids, I understand that. Let's see. Janice says, I'll be 57 on June 10th. On June 25 will be my 52 anniversary of having type 1 diabetes. Oh, wow, Janice. Well, prayers there. I mean, I hope you got it under control and can live with it. That's a tough thing. I've boarded and cared for lots of dogs and cats over the years that had to have a daily insulin shot, and I saw the effects of the ones that didn't get diagnosed soon enough and on the medication. So be sure to remind us of your birthday. Like I said, I'm going to try to figure out how to do a birthday song on here, or just might record these girls doing it, get my guitar out and get them to help me. Late May, early June. That's the Gemini range. Happy said, Ninja, I was raised by a wild pack of tourists. I get it. I get it. Happy says, born in 64. It's before is boomer. Okay, I was born in 63. So, learning something today. Technology for diabetes is amazing anymore. Yeah, I mean, I have had the opportunity to meet some dog trainers, and they were working with canines, dogs, to detect people with diabetes that were diabetic. And man, it was kind of up there with Leader Dogs for the Blind. I know if y'all were in the earlier chat last week or something, I talked about my experience with them. But that just blows me away uh, to see, God given right there. That's your x ray, your CAT scan, your MRI, everything laying right there. And when scientists finally catches up to what they're trying to mimic a dog's nose, what it can do. But if science will catch up, they'll learn quick that dogs already had the solution. They just need the dogs. Oh, what Simba say? You're doing great for just starting out. Well, thank you, Simba. I appreciate it. I got cords and all kinds of stuff laid around, and I'll change something, and then I can't figure out what to change. But hey, we're talking about dogs, so to me, that's well. Good luck, Janice, and let us know if everything's okay. We'll be praying for you. Uh-oh. I hear the daycare dogs going nuts. I don't think I locked the front door. Oh well. Y'all just stay where you at. I don't need no running off because you hear the barking. Yeah, I don't like the girls up here. I like it, but I don't like it because I can see them looking at the screen. So I'm keeping an eye on them. But, they're babies. Sometimes they don't understand that they're sitting up high. Um, my partner was telling me the other day I need to fix like a mattress or something around me so if they did jump, maybe it'd catch or fall. But they're pretty smart. They know, yeah, heard the buzzer. Y'all don't need to go nowhere. It's all good. It's probably a delivery or something. I mean, that's the most alert uh, alarm system you can have. Y'all can see my puppy now how that one ear is kind of cutting in the middle. I'm gonna have to let them down so they can go check out. Wait, wait. Y'all go make sure we're safe. Don't need no stranger danger. We don't need no stranger danger, do we? No, we don't. Your left ear is going to have a little more work. Okay, you can go see what they see. Well, y'all getting a true test of what it's like living here at Wagon Tails. And I am so thankful that I've got to do this for 40 years. April 1st will be my 40th year, and I've just been blessed. Yeah, absolutely happy. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to make it a source to where if they did decide to jump, I may find something that's a little shorter and stair step it down. They're used to running up ramps to the bed and to the couch and all that. So I will do my best. Simba says, all my animals are rescued, senior husky mix, a chai pit, and 2 black cats. Bless you. You know, it's your avatar or whatever you call that, your profile picture is so cute. I love that expression. That is similar to the one I posted with Believe, with one ear kind of flopped over. But yes, I love people who rescue and just help animals in general. And y'all hear they're running to see what door they came in, and I'm pretty sure I left my glass doors open. So oh well, because we're supposed to be closed till 4 o'clock. So, but yeah, I started the first animal shelter here in Camden, Arkansas. We're in South Arkansas, and that's the worst 7 years of my life. I have decided that I don't think you can build big enough buildings and shelters for these dogs. And I wish for myself, living in a rural area, that the 50,000 we had as a gift from a lady that passed away that we actually built the shelter with, I would have, after 7 years looking back, we'd have been so much better if we had just paid for spay neuters and did as many of us we could have, because that's the issue. If they can, people let them reproduce, they're going to fill up the shelters, and I've been in show dogs for 40 years, but I guarantee you, and purebred dogs end up in shelters. I'm not saying they don't. I'm just saying that 90% of the people I know, or probably 95, they got a contract with that puppy. They've got first refusal. They've got a microchip. They've spayed or neutered them before they left. I mean, that's a responsible breeder, and they're looking, because everybody wants the right to have what they want. If I want a pit bull mix, that's America. I can do that, and I tell you what, that's pit bulls. People have that fear, and yes, they can be very dangerous. They're terriers, and they need to be trained. And if you put them out on a tree with a log chain around their neck, they're probably not going to be very social. And all terriers are naturally, most of the time, will fuss with other dogs. I had Jack Russells for years, and my Jack Russell would embarrass the heck out of me because it didn't matter the size of the dog. She was about a 12-pound dog, and she tried to eat everybody. And that makes a dog trainer really look good when your own dog is acting like that. But thank you, Simba, and thank you, Happy, agreeing with us. Yes, they do. I mean, dogs make the world a better place, and I think if everybody had them, they would. You don't realize how much company they are. Let's see what Simba says. I used to foster until I fractured my back and had to have surgery. I have been in pain since. Oh, I'm so sorry. There's nothing worse than that. Back pain is just unbelievable. I've been there. I've never had the surgery, but I have a very jacked up back from horse riding injuries and uh, picking up these 100-pound dogs all these years. Let's see. Happy says Lucy's a York poo and she is mean to other dogs. Yeah, and I look at it like people. Everybody's not everybody's cup of tea, and the same with dogs. I've tried to raise Chihuahuas that are not yappy, shaking, scared, barking, uh, attacking, biting. Their name ankle biters. Yeah, some of my dogs don't like other people, and I know that. And I'm not going to put them in a situation where it makes them scared or aggressive. But after a couple of generations, I'm getting more that I wanted a Chihuahua that acts like a boxer. Big goofy dog, and always happy, and nothing bothers them. Well, my Chihuahuas are getting to that point where they love people, um, and they have to be like that to show them because they got these judges coming up to them and uh, looking at them and looking in their mouth at their teeth. Takes a dog that's pretty chill to be in public like that and enjoy it. If they don't like it, they don't show. Because first off, I'm not going to make them do something they don't like. So if they're not having a good time, then okay, there's no showing in your future. Let's see. What's Happy saying? Had a grandma who had a mean dog, and I swear I'd never be that grandma. Alas, I'm that grandma, lol. Well, like I said, dogs have personalities just like people, and that's I have learned when my doggy daycare, like trusting dogs that want to play, but making sure they don't get too excited and that kind of stuff. And it takes a lot. You can't just turn a whole bunch of dogs together and expect them not to kill each other. You got to know who's going to be for. I mean, we got some doodles that come in that they're everybody's friend. But I have a couple of dogs that they would have to have a fence in between them and the other dog. They like to run and chase them, but they don't want to be up next to them. Oh, Simba says, happiest I have had were my labs. Yeah, I don't know if you was on that live. Simba was talking about leader dogs for the blind, but I had a black lab for them that I raised as a puppy raiser, and getting to go to uh, Michigan, Rochester, is it Michigan? I always get the M states confused. But anyway, being blindfolded and letting the dog guide, it's a life changing experience. That was one of the coolest things. That and Hurricane Katrina are my top two things. Okay, here comes a train coming through. So we have trains that go by the back of my property, and that horn gets pretty loud. Um, but I love the loud, and we called it the long drive back. Her name was Keller, for Helen Keller, and we drove her back to Michigan. And it was tough because I'd had her since she was 8 weeks old, and she was about 14, 15 months old. And then I told him, well, I don't want to raise any more puppies unless it's a golden retriever. And I knew they didn't use Goldens as much because of the hair. The person that gets them having to deal with a lot of extra hair. Although labs to me are worse than the Golden. But anyway, they called and said, we got a Golden puppy. Will you raise it? And I'm like, it was in January. And I'm like, no way I can get to Michigan in this cold and snow, and I'm not driving there. And U.S. Airways had a program where the flight attendants would fly the puppies and help them get to wherever they need to be. So they called and said, well, U.S. Airways is going to bring this puppy to Little Rock, which is 2 hours north of me. But I was like, I got to say yes because they're going to call back and say, and we got a delivery from Little Rock. So I figured I'd at least save them that step. But raising the black lab and the golden was a cool experience. Let's see. Happy says labs and retrievers are good dogs, their own kids normally. That's true. That's true. The best, Happy. Yeah. Neither of my chies shake. One will bite humans, others lay back. Yeah, there you go. That's just the personalities, Promise, and I'll bring her on sometime. But she's the old girl that's my first one that I had litter puppies from. I had to look, but I think Promise is 10 or 11. It's Oops's mother, but when I got her as a puppy, when I went to the breeder, I could just see this look in this puppy's eyes of fear. And I knew better. I mean, I knew it immediately, but it was such the bloodlines and, getting the opportunity to own this particular bloodline. So then the lady tells me she's never been outside. She's never been on grass. She's never been in a car. All that dog knew was her litter mates in a pen in this lady's living room. Well, when I picked her up, she was terrified. I mean, she just, thought she was dying. And I get her in the car, and I had my other little chihuahua I'd got from New York Pocket with me. And this puppy is screaming, just terrified. And finally, and I'm in Dallas, and finally she crawled up on my shoulders and laid down. And then I felt her panting, and I forgot I had the heat on the seat. So I nearly killed her from getting too hot. But she bonded with me after, it took probably 2 or 3 weeks for her to even get right with me. But I call her PPC, Personal Protection Chihuahua, because she does not want anybody to get near me. And, my younger babies are learning that, let's go see who it is. Like I'm teaching my puppy now, every time the bell rings, I'll say, paying customer to let them see. And this one is being a little rat. That's Kelsey. And she kept coming up here scratching my leg and then running away. What are y'all barking at? Did y'all find a stranger danger? I don't like you leaning on that like that, Kelsey. Kelsey, you're up high. You don't need to be leaning. She has sat with me on the grooming table out in my big room while I'd be grooming, and she'd sit on the other table and watch. So she should be the best of all of them. Are you going to wave at people? Did I see you about to wave? You going to wave? Wave. Wave. No. It's when Kelsey wants something, then she does it. When she don't want it, she don't care. Yeah, there it is. Good girl. I knew you was going to do it. Yeah, good girl. Get off the edge. Get off the edge. Let's see. That's how my laid back one was. Lived 10 years in a cage with 7 other dogs, never got out. Oh, I hate that. I mean, I don't want my puppies exposed when they're real little, but man, they're handled and played with. And after they get their first puppy shots, I'm socializing them with everything I can think of. And the best thing I've found is taking my dogs to church. And if they can handle the praise music that is so loud with the drums and the whole 9 yards, they can handle any dog show because I've taken Believe twice with me. And she did good. at church. She shook for a little bit while I was standing there, up during the worship service, but when I sat down, she went to sleep in my lap. And then last Sunday, she was greeting people and wanting to see them, and then went right to sleep. Hang on, Darla is calling me, and I want to tell her that I'm on live and see if there's anything going wrong. I don't know what all the barking was, but could have been that. Oh, hoarder, case, ninja. Yeah. What are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? They are all in one of my rolling carriers over there wrestling. Um, yeah, man, I did animal cruelty. I tried when we started the animal shelter, I was trying to get our county to help do something because the county was horrible with duck dogs and people breeding or letting them have puppies every time they come in heat and all that. So I actually went to school and got the certified animal cruelty investigator, and I had a sheriff that we'd raised money with their dog kennel club and bought the first canine for Camden, and so he was very supportive. And what my role was, I thought, was to help the deputies understand when they got these animal calls, because I got logs from the sheriff's office, and 15 to 20, no, 75 to 80% of their calls were something about a dog, a horse, a cat, animal calls, cows out. And it was horrible. There's estimated 5,000 stray dogs in Washita County. And, you know, there again, I seen things I never wanted to see. I was at a house one day that these two neighbors in a trailer park were fighting, and one dog was chained up, the other was running loose, and both sides of the story. And I go back to this lady's house to ask her more questions, and she invited me in the house. Well, she's just going off what she's going to do to this lady, and there's a pew pew. I better learn how to say that. On top of her TV. Back then, you had the square TVs, and she was threatening to go shoot that dog and everything. And I left, but this was before we didn't have. I had a bag phone for cell service, and of course, if I was way out in the county, it didn't work. And even the radio in the car, police car, they did give me a car to drive around to save my vehicle, but I didn't even have contact until I got like 10 miles back into Camden. And the more I thought about it, what the lady was saying and her actions, it kind of started bothering me. And I went in and told the sheriff, and I said, that something's not right. Somebody's going to get hurt. Well, it turned out this lady's husband was a felon and couldn't have firearms in the house. And so they went out and arrested him. And then, of course, there's my name, little old Darlene here in Camden. And so it was tough. I worried my mom quite a few times, dealing with the bad situations, but it was fulfilling the times, there was a starving horse or something like that we got veterinary care for and got it on I had one that his parents had died in a house fire, and there was an old horse on the property that was probably 20, 25 years old. And the son, who didn't live there, didn't know that he had to come back and feed that horse. And the only water source for her was a crock pot. Think about it. a horse and a crock pot. And so, I mean, the horse looked horrible. She looked like she could fall over any minute. So, but I just had the sense talking with this guy that he really doesn't have a clue, you know. And so instead of charging him with all this stuff, uh, oh, Ninja, I'm sorry. Um, but instead of charging him, I started educating him. And within, I don't know, 6 weeks, I go back out checking on things. And he had built a mansion. I'm talking a barn with stall that this old girl had the best rest of her life, you know. And it was simply, they didn't know what to do. So, have I missed anybody? I know we've been on here about 35 minutes and I don't want to bore y'all, but I sure appreciate you hanging in with me. And I thank you for calling me out on other channels. I'm not, I don't guess I can see my YouTube on here, but I think it was up to 303 subscribers the last time I looked. So I'm very grateful for that. And I got a lot of ideas that stuff we can do and have fun. And y'all can shoot me ideas. You know, if you have some training issues, I'd love to get Rogue Mama in here. I know she just got a new puppy, and I'd be glad to answer questions on. Cool, Robin, welcome. Uh, but if you have training issues or grooming issues or whatever, uh, just put it out there. We'll figure out something, and if I don't know about it, I'll shoot you in the right direction. But I sure appreciate y'all coming and joining me, and we're gonna cut this off so I can go see what the daycare dogs are doing. I appreciate that, Simba. I hope everybody has a great rest of their day. And remember, there's something always